Hey everybody, Cynthia here. I am back with my 13 Haunted Projects of Halloween series. And today we're creating Halloween treats, pumpkin, treat totes, gift boxes, whatever you want to call them. Every year I try to make a pumpkin treat tote and our treat box. And I've made several of them. I will post a link below to the Halloween playlist series. And this year I wanted to keep it simple. I'm behind on my craft show items for the show. I have it coming up on the 13th. So I am very behind, and I wanted to keep the treat boxes simple this year so it wouldn't take me too long to put them together. So I remembered one year I used a circle scallop die, and this year I thought it would be fun to use my oval scallop die. I used the largest one that I had, and that oval scallop oval measures, let me turn back here, I'm on the wrong page. That measures 4.5 high by 3 1/4 wide. So if you cut them out on your Cricut or your silhouette, that's the size oval scallops that I used. Okay, so we're going to put this together. Let's get, oh, one other thing. This is how I bagged them up for my, I haven't put my price tags on yet, but for my craft show, I just put them in a bag, and then I made little bag toppers, stapled them, wrote out in the description what it is, and then I used a heart punch, because these are going to be put on one of my, I forget what you call them, but anyway, it has a, when you stick them on the rack, the circle is so big, the bead on the end, that I had to use a heart punch instead of a circle punch to get them on. But that's how I bagged them up for the show, and I already have a bunch made. So anyway, the little spiders that I used are those spiders that I got from Michael's last year, and it came with 48 pieces, so they're really coming in handy this year. I not only used one here, but we used them in a previous video on these pumpkins that I used. And then the green you see here, that is that basket filler that I got from the Dollar Tree. That's this stuff right here. You can get bags of it at the Dollar Tree. I found green one year, so I grabbed a bunch of green. And it comes in a bag like this. This is the black decorative shred, but I use green for these pumpkins. I'm not sure what colors they have because I had gotten it last year. I used my swirly embossing folder. And then the bags that I got, these are 5x7 bags, and I got these on Amazon. I will post a link below. I'm not sure if they still have this size, but you get a ton of them. They were a really good price when I bought them. So I'll post a link below to these where I purchased them on Amazon, in case you're interested in 5x7 bags. And then here for the pumpkin stem, I used this die. This die is from this set right here that I got on Amazon as well. And I'm not sure if they even have any more of these dies, but it's not the teeny tiny one, it's the next size up that I used to create my stem. When you guys can use whatever, just cut a rectangle piece for your stem. I used craft cardstock. If you don't have this die, that's okay. Like I said, just cut a little rectangle piece. The size, if you're going to use it for, cut a rectangle, you want to cut it about 1 3/4 inches long by 3/4 of an inch wide. And all you're going to do is cut it right in half. So you have 2 pieces. Okay, I'm going to set that aside. And then I did use some of that black shred that I just showed you for the inside to fill the box. Alright, so let me set all this stuff aside now that I showed you what I used. Did I show you I used this Halloween trees stamp from that stamp set I got at Michael's? I'm really getting use out of these, and I'm super happy I picked them up. And I just fussy cut that out. And that is actually right here. Okay, so all I did to create this little tag thing here is took my hole punch, and I'm going to punch a hole right here by the top part of the H. So just punch a hole right there, and then I'm going to fussy cut this out. And then around that hole punch, I'm just going to try to create like a little circle around that. Sorry, I am not the fastest cutter when it comes to this. I really have to concentrate. Alright, mess it up. Okay, so now I have my sentiment. And then for the ovals, what you're going to do is put 2 together. Okay, turn it around and you're going to count. So you have your first bottom oval here, then these, you have your first scallop here, then these 2, and then these 2. So you're going to cut straight across at this point, and you're going to cut off 5 scallops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can put this in your cutter if you want, but I just cut it across like that. So you see you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 scallops. You want to take those right off the bottom. Okay? And then once I did that, I took my black Distress ink again. And I inked up the edges because I wanted it to look a little more distressed and Halloween-y. You can make these for fall as well. Maybe use some vintage photo. Pardon me, vintage photo. You know, like a brown. And then I took it and I rubbed it all over those embossed swirls, just to kind of bring them to life a little bit. And I'm just doing that very gently, rubbing in like a circle. Okay, so those are done. I made a little bow from this black and white gingham ribbon here. I got it at the Paper Mart years ago. And this measures 1/4 of an inch wide. And I'm going to set all of this aside, and we're going to get out our scoreboard and create the box. Oops, almost got my cutter out. Okay, let me make sure I'm on camera for this. The piece of cardstock you're going to need measures 7 by 4 1/4. You're going to line it up at the 7-inch mark. And we're going to score at 3 inches. And again at 4. Flip it to the side and score at 1 inch on this side. Turn it to the opposite side and score again at 1 inch. And then we're going to fold up our score lines. I'm going to run my bone folder over those. Okay, and we're going to create our tabs again. Going to cut up on this score line to meet up with the next score line. Just don't cut past it. And then it creates 3 flaps. So you have the 2 on the side and this center flap, little tab there. Go directly to the opposite side and do the same thing. Cut up on your score line here and here and create that center tab. So I pretty much just fold the tabs in and add liquid glue to both of them. And then we're going to join this side with this center tab. So just fold it up and join them together. And you're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Fold this tab up to this side here. Join them together. Press down with my bone folder on the inside. And then we're going to be joining these 2 sides here. We're going to close it up like that. But first, I'm going to add some glue or double-sided tape, whatever you like to use. And instead of pulling this up, I like to just close the box down and then join the sides to meet. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing over here. Close up our box, and then you want to press down on the inside. Okay, and that's our treat box. And then what I do is I add glue to the box itself. And I'm going to set it down. And I'm going to take one of my scallop ovals and I'm just going to back it up to the box and press just like that. And then you want to go on the inside and press down. Just press down gently because you do not want to ruin that nice embossing that you have on this side. So turn the box around, add glue to here, and do the same thing on this side. I had forgotten that when I went to cut these, I used washi tape to keep this one from moving, and apparently I left it on here. And it really stuck. Probably because I embossed it with it on. I never even saw this. It's so funny. It's funny, but it's not funny. Oh, jeez. You guys ever do this? Like, okay. There we go. Got that tape off. That really stuck, that stuff. Okay, so I'm going to back it up onto here, and then I put my 2 fingers on each side to make sure that it's even with the front scallops here before I press it down. I'm going to do the same thing. Run my bone folder on the inside. Okay, so now that we have our ovals on, I'm going to take those 2 pieces that we had cut for our stem, and I'm just going to run some black ink over the edges for here. Put some liquid glue on the opposite side, just on the bottom. And then instead of putting it on straight, I just tilted mine a little bit. And you could tilt yours to whatever side you'd like. I'm going to flip it around. Put some glue on the bottom again. And now I'm going to tilt it to the opposite side so that it lines up with the stem in the front and the pardon me, in the back. Okay? So now that we have our stems on, I'm going to take a piece of twine. It's about an inch, a little over an inch. I'll fold it in half, and I'm going to put that right through the hole that I created for my sentiment. Okay, I'm going to leave that right there, and I have my bow. Then I took 3 pieces of this grass here, bag filler, whatever you want to call it, basket filler. Line them up, and I'm going to fold them in half, cut them, and then I just found my center and I twist. I gave it like 2 twists right there in the center. I'm going to add some liquid glue, and I'm going to pop that right at the bottom of that stem. And then I'm going to take this twine and my sentiment here, which, by the way, I want to put a piece of foam tape on the back of for dimension. I'm going to line that up right there, those 2 edges, right in the center of the greens. I'm going to add a dollop of, not too much, hot glue, and I'm going to glue my bow right on top of that. Okay, just like that. If you see any excess glue that comes out, I just take my tweezers and pull it off right away. Because nobody wants to see little hot glue bubbles on a project. That just does not look nice. Okay, so pull that off. I'm going to flip this around. Pull that backing off of that double-sided tape. And then I just took it and I put it right there on the side. And that's it. And then I'm going to get one of these spiders out. Put some liquid glue on that. Oop. And I'm going to add him to the bottom. And then I'm going to take some of the decorative shred in black and kind of crumble it up a little bit. I'll put my candy on the inside, decorative shred on top. And that's it, guys. That's how I created my little scallop pumpkin for my craft shows. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I hope you give it a try. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care and happy crafting.